Hello. In today's video, we're going to review how users can add percent calculations to their financial reports. We'll start by navigating to the Reports menu and Financial Reports. For today's demo, I'm going to look at the Profit and Loss Summary report. This is a great report, but right now I can't see the ratio of anything. Say I wanted to see what percent of revenue gross profit is. In order to do that, we can add a new calculation column. First, we'll navigate to Computations on the left-hand side. Here, we'll click Add a Computation. Like I was saying, I want to see what percent of revenue gross profit is. So I will click this little pencil right here. And on this pop-up screen, we have a few options. We can select the variable, which can either be an account group, account, or a constant value. In this case, we want account group. We choose what operation we want. We want to divide in this case so we can find out our percentage. And then the variable value, which is revenue. Now, after we hit save, the system will apply it to every sub-value within the account group. See how gross profit is the overarching account group? It added our calculation to all of these under here. If I just went on gross profit, I'm able to go in and click the pencil and clear them out individually. I'm going to leave them on though, just for this demonstration. After we add the computation, we do need to add a new column that utilizes the computation. I'm going to go over to column 2 and add this percent calculation column to the right. For the column type, we are going to choose computation on actual. Computation 1 will default. If you have various computations, you can choose what you want here. We're going to do it on our column 2 here. Reporting period, we're going to make sure it matches. And then this is a percent, so we're going to change this from number to percent. And we'll give it the title, percent revenue. Now, when we run the report, we have this handy percent of revenue column right next to our values. And we can see that our gross profit is 19.24% of our revenue. If you prefer to have this as its own row in the same column, there is a way we can do this, but it is a little bit of a workaround. We'll go through that now. To get a computation to appear as a row on a financial report, we will need to make it an account group. We'll start by navigating to General Ledger, Account Groups. Sticking with my example from earlier, we're going to do gross profit as a percentage of revenue. I'll click Add. Give it a title. Normal balance for that will be a credit. And then structured type is where we choose computation. we'll do our gross profit, and we'll divide that by our revenue. I'll stick to 2 decimal places, and we'll change this to percent. Then I'll go ahead and save. Now that'll give us the calculation we want, but there is one more step. If we were to add that to any report, it would add to the total at the bottom of the report and thus give us an inaccurate total. To get around this, we're going to make a contra group of that to zero it out for the total, but so we can still see the percent on a row. I'll start by navigating to my gross profit account group. Here, I'm going to duplicate it, give it the name gross profit contra, and switch the normal balance from a credit to a debit. Then I'll just duplicate this gross profit as percent of revenue account group. Call it contra. And I'll change the calculation here to use my gross profit contra instead of our gross profit, thus resulting in the inverse. This one will be a debit, and I can go ahead and save. From here, I'm going to make a new account group that is gross profit, but includes both of these percentages. I'll start by duplicating my gross profit account group, and I'll give it a name to indicate what it is. On my report, I'll still want it to just show has gross profit. And down here, I can add in the account groups we just made. After adding those in, I can go ahead and save. Now that I have this gross profit with percent of revenue account group, I want to add it to my financial reports. I can do this by doing new account groups and then doing new reports with those account groups, or I can edit existing account groups that originally used this gross profit. For this video, I'm just going to show us doing it with an existing account group. So for any of the P&L out of the box reports, they use the net income account group, which uses earnings before income taxes. And that is where the original gross profit account group is set. So I'll look up that earnings before, and I'm going to go ahead and edit this account group. I'll add in the gross profit we just made. Drag it to the top, and I'll remove our old gross profit. Go ahead and save once again. And now let's look at the P&L summary that we were looking at earlier. Navigate to Reports, Financial Reports. Here's our profit and loss summary. we look at the rows now, we now have our gross profit as percent of revenue and our contra. I'm going to collapse both of these as we just want to see the percent line. And from here, I don't want to see this gross profit as percent of revenue contra on my report. So we take a look. This is the value we actually want to see. We don't want it duplicated. To get rid of it, I'm going to go down to Format, Rows and Totals. If I scroll down, I can find it, and I can both hide heading and hide totals. So now when we look at the report, we have our normal P&L, but we have our gross profit as percent of revenue line right here.